Right now we are restricting it to about 3 or 4 because that is all what we have right now. But we will certainly like to increase the collaboration with the other universities. And some of the students, those who are abroad, I'm sure maybe you can talk to Dean and see if some of those activities can also be revived. Okay. We'll certainly like the surge overseas as well as the surge internal to be revived. This is the kind of expenditure which has been doing, and the expenditure is in terms of lakhs, so the amount is around 12-13 lakhs is what is the amount that we are planning. Okay. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. Any questions I'll be able to answer.
Does this include for the students going overseas?
Yes, this whatever budget includes the overseas cost also. If you go back to the breakup, I'll tell you how much is the overseas one. Okay. Overseas one is of the order of about 3.5 lakhs. This is what I have got over here. Okay, because for Melbourne we have the program and we have to spend close to about 1 lakh. So we pay for our students, and when the Melbourne students come, we have an exchange program which is truly exchange. 3 of our students go out and 3 of their students come in. Okay, so it is not a one-way street. Maybe in your case it was a one-way street. You only had people going from India to the Western country, but now we have a both-way program. Okay, and we like to keep it both ways. Please.
How does stipend of 12,500 cover the expenses in overseas?
Okay. See, what happens is that their mess, what we find is it comes to about 7,000, 8,000, something around that. Okay. For about 8-week program, so that is about 2 months. Okay. And then they will be covering some on the travel. For example, if somebody travels from some other place, he comes over here. So we feel that he will be spending at least maybe 1,000 rupees or something to come one week.
I'm thinking overseas. There's the same stipend for overseas.
No. Overseas, we have to pay a lot more money. Yeah, overseas, what we find is we try to buy them the cheapest possible tickets. For example, if a person is coming from Melbourne over here, we would not like to spend more than about 40,000 to 50,000 rupees on their travel. That's what we would like to do. Okay. So sometimes you have to travel by Air India, sometimes that is what we would like to do because those are the government regulations. So the cost does go up, but that is the kind of money we are spending. 40-45%.
Where do students usually go?
Maybe I lost your question.
So if you are at IIT, they can do the program in IIT or non-IIT.
Right. Okay. So what happens is some of the IIT students, students over here. Now I think about 2-3 years back we also opened it for other places, for other non-IIT. So we have people from different IITs, IIT Kanpur, Bombay, Delhi, and we have also some NITs, and we also have some other colleges. Okay. And our experience with all of them is very, very positive. Okay, the students who come over here, if you can meet some of them, they are extremely bright students. Okay, and if I can say, they are better than some of our IIT Kanpur students also. Okay, because they are absolutely the top.
Go to other IITs, other places instead of continuing.
Actually, what we have is we have a very open system. Anybody can apply for internship anywhere in the world, and our students go all over the world. And this is true for all IITs and for all other NITs and so on. Now the world is a lot more globalized. Okay. So what we do is, what we find is some of the people who are non-IITs, suppose somebody is from other college, maybe VIT Vellore, or somebody is from maybe some other place. It may not be a very good place. But he is a very bright student. And then he applies over here and he gets to search and he can do some excellent work. So what our feeling is, that our idea was that some of these students will also join our MTech program and they can contribute to research. So that is also what one of our aims is. Okay, promoting research and research culture also. Both.
My suggestion was different. My point was that IIT students should go somewhere else instead of continuing here. You should invite more.
I think some of our student members are here. They have their own priorities. I am sure when I told you to do something in mosque, I don't think everybody listened to what I said at that time. And I can't tell my students. Okay. They have their own mind. And I think we should give them that freedom. Okay. Yeah, please.
Can you tell us a bit more about the type of research they work on? And, how
type of research, all departments. We are people, all the engineering departments and all the science departments. They go to all the departments, including people going in maths, computer science, electrical engineering. And they usually write their statement also. One of the things they write is, they have to write a proposal, like what is the area they want to work in. And then we'll be sending to various departments. For example, somebody wants to work in the image processing area, we'll be sending to electrical. Then in the electrical department, it will be sent to various professors. And the person who is working in the image processing, he will evaluate whether the proposal is good enough. Okay, so their selection is based, the search committee will not make the selection. The final selection is done by the individual faculty members. So it's a very, very thorough selection.
So what kind of journals have the publications gone?
I think the list is there. We have, when I'm saying journals, they are international journals. Okay. They are, we have Indian journals, international journals, international conferences, everything. Okay. So not all of them get publications. Some of them do.
What's your vision for how it works with experience?
Well, one way it started was one of our batch, 77 batch. Some of the students are supported by 77 batch, some are supported by some other batch. I think Professor Mushi they can clarify. Some others come from some other sources.
Class of 77 supports about 20 students?
No, I think the number is closer to 10 to 15. It was 20 at that time we joined, but that time the scholarship was 10,000. But now it is 12,500.
Then Narayan Murthy supports about 25. And the corpus right now is around 25 plus 15, 40 lakhs. We want to double it. So that the corpus has to be probably 10 times more than the required. So the interest rates are around. That is the what.
And so what is the size of the corpus currently?
Right now it is 25 lakhs for the class of 77, 5 lakhs for class of 80. And the Narayan Murthy funds are there, and about 20 lakhs comes from there. So Narayan Murthy corpus is the big corpus, and we just borrow 20 lakhs.
Okay.
That is, right now it is 50. I was thinking of doubling, so that the number can be doubled.
So we know the size and we'll definitely take it up. It is very interesting, sir, and we'll definitely like to consider this proposal seriously. We'll definitely come back to you to touch base with more and seek more details on it. But tomorrow we'll like to develop it further. Thank you so much, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Shashwat Trivedi, and I'm a club, who we are, and what we do in the campus. Yeah. So, what is SA? So, SA International is basically an organization of more than 138,000 engineers and related experts in the society that's dedicated to advancing mobility solutions for the world, for people, for everyday use. And SA India is an affiliate society of SA International and carries out the mission of SA International in India. So, SA organizes more than 25 events like meetings, conferences all across the globe, and covering all aspects of technology related to all design, manufacturing, and the latest stuff that's happening in automobile, aerospace, all-terrain vehicle, and all the mobility industry. What we are concerned are basically the collegiate design competitions that SAE organizes. So they are listed here, and we'll walk you through the one we are concerned with in the PPT.
So who we are? Basically, SAE IIT Kanpur was established with an aim to incorporate the automotive culture among the campus community. Our club was established in 2011, and currently our team comprises of more than 100 active members, comprising of various departments and all throughout the batches.
So, our faculty advisors are Dr. Avinash Agrawal from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and he's seated here today. And Dr. Karan from the Civil Engineering Department. So, they have been great supporters for us, great mentors for us, and we obtain a great deal from them in terms of project management and all the administrative help that we need.
To begin with, SAE IIT Kanpur broadly comprises of three main categories. First is the FSAE, second is the Baha SAE, and third is the FE cycle. Now what these actually are, we'll let you know in a few moments.
Okay, so what are the aims of our society? So the first and foremost is to bridge the gap between classroom education and industry. Because we feel that the concepts that we learn in classroom are actually implemented there in the real engineering projects that we do. And this makes it appreciate those concepts even more beautifully, seeing us, born in front of us. Then the second one, again, to provide platform for ITK students to innovate and design in the automobile industry and to explore careers in the same. Of course, to develop personalities of students, both individually and professionally, to nurture skills that one would require in any real engineering project, that include project management, public relations, marketing, design, R&D, manufacturing. And again, one of the most crucial ones that we concern is to make the name of IIT synonymous with the best universities in the world, which produce some of the finest automotive engineers in the world. Because we believe that our hub, where all these automobile enthusiasts are working together at one place, can really produce people who can create, innovate, and probably go on to become technocrats in the automobile industry and revolutionize things for it.
So as we all know that students from IIT Kanpur have been excelling in all spheres of life, and being a new team to represent IIT Kanpur in this new endeavor, our mission is to emerge as the best SAE team of the nation by the end of second season, that is after 2015. Also, our vision, as we see down the line 5 years from now, is to become the most respectable team in the nation, as well as to be recognized globally.
Okay, so what's Formula SAE? So Formula SAE is an international collegiate design competition where more than 500 universities take part, and the aim is to produce a small Formula style race car. So it's evaluated for its potential as a production item and also for its performance. It's made within a specified set of rules which is provided by the organizers, and again, it's judged on its safety, performance, and the racing conditions that it's required to fulfill. And also it promotes really clever problem-solving techniques, like how do you make this vehicle within the given constraints and also apply some innovation. So FSAE, Formula SAE is held at various locations throughout the globe, so you can see some of them.
Coming on to Baha SAE, basically it is quite different from Formula SAE. In this, we design, build and race an off-road vehicle which is capable of withstanding even the harshest of off-road conditions. It is again judged on the basis of the rules, the strength and the durability of the vehicle. As I had mentioned earlier, that IIT Kanpur aims to be the best, and so although being the first time, we have currently designed a Baha vehicle that is the lightest Baha vehicle in the country. Previously the record was around 200 or something kgs, but our current vehicle weighs around 160 kgs. So this is a big achievement, and it is being held in 7 places across the globe. And being the first year, we are currently targeting it to be in India, and as time passes, we will participate in the international events as well.
So again, SAE at this cycle. So this is essentially a platform for students to design an eco-friendly hybrid vehicle, again, which is highly engineered, aerodynamic, and capable of seating 2 passengers. It's a tricycle basically. Now, objective is also to promote innovation towards greener technology, to produce an idea that would lead to future mobility solution towards a more eco-friendly technology. So again, this is an eco-friendly initiative that we take part in.
Apart from designing and building the vehicles, we also focus on promoting SAE in the campus. For this, we generally do events like designer suspension, in which we encourage and motivate the first year students to apply their concepts learnt in the class into some practical model. Also, we participated in Mahindra AQ, in which our team were the runners-up in the nationals.
Our achievement so far. So in 2013, in Formula Student Weekly, we basically procured rank 13 in business logic presentation event and 9th rank in cost report presentation event out of 55 teams, international teams that took part. So that was a pretty good performance in terms of as a first year performance. And we have also had one successful participation at the FE Cycle event in Chandigarh this year. So these are some of the pictures from the Student Weekly event that we went to. So this is our car at the event site in Italy in September 2013 when we took part there.
So our present targets are basically, we are focusing on Formula Student Hungary, which is to be held in August 2015. our upcoming event is in January 2015, which is Bahar Student India. And we also are focusing on SAE FE cycle to be held in Chandigarh next year.
Some of our pictures from manufacturing and our team meetings and the lectures we give. So this is basically a summary and a breakup of the financial budget of our season 1 project, that is the Formula SAE project. So from IIT granted us a total budget of about 25 lakhs. So out of which you can see the breakup here. So I think it's quite self-explanatory. So this is our season 2 budget. Since in our season 2 we expanded our venture to season 2 budget. Since in our season 2 we expanded our venture to participate in 3 events: a Formula racing car, an alternate vehicle, and an eco-friendly vehicle. So hence, and also we have decided to do bigger and better things that other international teams do. Hence, we have an estimated budget of about 80 lakhs. The division of which is about 41 lakhs for Formula SAE, about 17 lakhs for Baha, and about 4 lakhs for SAE FE cycling. And because this time we are again aiming for the lightest Formula racing car of India, which would again be less than 200 kgs, would have a better engine, would have better suspension design, would have better bodyworks. We would use composites, carbon fibers, and use better tools, better precision manufacturing. So that is why we are like 1 level or 2 levels up than what we were before. So hence our budget has reflected basically in our budget.
So the challenges we face are currently the shortage of funds. Okay, and secondly, though we have the best manufacturing facilities in the country, but considering the international teams and the scale there, we have learned that we are somewhere lacking behind. And so this is one of the pretty much major challenges that we are facing, because of which we are not able to manufacture what we feel is up to the mark. And thirdly, though we have a workshop here beside Hall 2, that old UBI building, but we do not have a proper discussion and a meeting room. So yeah, these are the basic challenges that we are facing.
We gain technical support from Indian Research Laboratory. So Professor Avinash is in charge of the laboratory. And manufacturing facilities again we avail from Indian Research Laboratory, the tinkering lab, central workshop, which are the central facilities of IIT, and the 4I lab again. These are the contacts, but I think they are available on our website. So this is our present team. So thank you. Advisor Dr. Avinash is going to say a few words.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Avinash, and this was in 2011 when some of the enthusiastic students came to me, and they said that they want to build a car on their own. So I encouraged them, and they worked very hard, and the result was that we built our first Formula SAE car, and believe it or not, we used Royal Enfield engine 350cc. I have a Royal Enfield 350cc, and the car, we did the test trials on the airstrip. The car was much faster than my motorbike. The car had 4 wheels, my motorbike had only 2, but it was much faster. So we did a good job. They conceptualized, they built the chassis, they fabricated the whole thing, and they participated in Italy. They got 13th rank, which is quite commendable. They made a car, another all-terrain car, which they are going to inaugurate tomorrow, 4 o'clock in faculty building. So all of you are welcome. This is a tentative program. Maybe this can be informed by Dr. Munshi Paul. So you're welcome to witness the flagging off of this car. And this car will be participating in an event in Jamshedpur, starting from 5th January. The best part of this initiative is that everything is done by the students, all the fabrication, all the planning and execution, and we need your support to continue this activity. One of the major problems that we are facing is the finances. Until now, the institute was supporting, but now I think the support is not that much. So we will really appreciate if there is any support coming from this batch. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take.
So, sir, sorry, if we quantify, you are saying that the target for the next year is 80 lakhs. That immediate budget for this year.
Yeah.
And is it suitably funded or
Right now
we are
it is
starting from ground zero?
Yeah, I mean, for the first season, 25 lakhs were given.
Right.
So I sent 16 students to Italy along with the car. That included the travel and also the fabrication of the car, the transport of the car, everything, which was about 25-30 lakhs.
Right.
And then for the second season, we got about 10 to 12 lakhs. So right now the situation is that we
For
have
the balance,
built the car,
yeah.
but we don't have the money to take it to the competition.
Right.
Okay. So hopefully Dr. Munshi will help us.
Sure.
This will happen, but we don't have a constant supply of funds. Of course, there is a marketing team, they do marketing, but you know, marketing efforts will probably not yield the kind of funds that are required. So we have to look forward to alumni support on that end.
And so is it your personal commitment to take it forward for a reasonable period of time? Because I guess it is only a year or 2 years old in this campus.
Yes, that's right. It's only 3 years old, and in fact, we are participating for the first time because earlier we started only with the Formula SAE. Then I said that we need a larger number of students, so we started with 2 other initiatives. The other one is the FE cycle, and this is the Baha competition. And now the students have started enjoying them, so I expect that it will continue. And I'm also committed to continue this for 2 or 3 years until some younger colleague takes over.
Sure.
There are a couple of colleagues who are already getting into the group, so hopefully this will continue if we can.
So that commitment is important, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Nilesh, you wanted to ask something. Sorry.
I'd like to mention quickly that Avinash is the fellow of the American Society for Mechanical Engineering.
Thank you, sir.
My question was, in this design of this car, are you also using some green technologies? Is there thought about solar? Like solar cars are big in universities. There are a lot of competitions about solar cars, solar powered cars, and like other alternative fuels. Is that also something that you're thinking about, or is?
Yeah, actually there was one competition which was supposed to be organized by Shell in Abu Dhabi, I think in 2016, and we were planning to participate, but as I said, we don't have the financial bandwidth to undertake these projects. There are many races that take place all over the world, but the problem is, first is the number of students, how many number of students we have. Fortunately, right now there are enough number of students who are interested, and if we have sufficient bandwidth, that is certainly something that is on our agenda. We would also like to develop solar power car in future, yes, but not immediately. I have talked to a couple of my colleagues in electrical engineering who are experts in power systems, and they have expressed a lot of interest. So expertise to supervise such projects is available in-house. It's just a question of putting it together.
I have inside the campus.
Okay.
Is it a new production here?
I think it's commercially available, so I think it's a new introduction we introduced in the campus about 2 years back. And I think some of the licenses have been given. And I think the institute supports procurement, and there are some indirect subsidies to make the campus famous.
Hopefully we are done for. Do you have any question, Ashu?
Yeah, quick question. Do you, apart from any Indian automotive manufacturers?
Yeah, we got 5 lakh rupees funding from Tata Steel, and then we got some funding. You must have seen. Can you put up that slide? There are many sponsors that sponsored few things. Like for example, on the car we put a lot of stickers for like 50,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees. So there was some amount of around 8 to 10 lakh rupees sponsorship that was collected for this event, because we were going international, so everybody wanted to put some of those things. So I must confess that last 1 or 2 years, guys have not done good job with marketing. I mean, I was expecting that the students will. I mean, they are excellent in terms of collecting money. Look at, Techkriti, look at Antaragni. These have budgets of the order of 30 lakh, 40 lakh, 1 crore. And they collect all the funds. But these guys did not do a good job for their car. Hopefully, in the future, they will improve. But I don't expect it to be quite big fraction, maybe about 20% if I get sponsorship, that will be good.
Corpus for future years? And if so,
Actually,
how much
I think there will be cost somehow. We want to have about $1 million corpus, so that every year we don't have to look towards anybody. Just the interest of it will be able to support the activity, and plus the sponsorship amount from wherever we get. So, although it's a tall order, and we are in no position of having any say in terms of finances. We don't have any commitment. So whatever comes, that will be welcome.
Just what Ashu said, whether we get any corporate sponsorship, and the fact that you said that Tatas are supported. Have you ever got in touch with Mercedes? And I'm just giving you a clue. 1989 batch pass out, Piyush Arora is slated to be the managing director of Mercedes in India. You can take your chances. I can help you connect with him. Mercedes is in Formula Racing. The organization will be known. Piyush will be welcoming. Rest, we can take it forward, but just as a
great, thanks. It's a great data.
I'm Sanil Sachan, 4th year undergrad at Chemical Engineering.
4th year undergrad. We are from Alumni Contact Program, which comes under Dean Resources and Alumni.
So we would be presenting you about Project Saraswati, which is our Dean's initiative. It was started last year only, so we have a few.
So basically the motive is to help students, connect the alumni and students and help the students of IIT Kanpur. That's the basic motive.
So we basically invite alumni to come to IIT Kanpur and guide students about various career choices and take workshops here.
So these are the 3-4 things we do: tips on the top, workshops, epilogue sessions, informal sessions.
So moving on to tips from the top. First, last session this year was Management Studies in Corporate World.
So the following speakers were invited in this Management Studies tips on the top, and approximately 250 to 300 students attended this talk, and they had a one-on-one session with these speakers. So it was a great benefit to the students of IIT Kanpur. Another session was on civil services.
The motive was to inform students about the prospects, preparation, tips, challenges about civil services. The major aim was to provide them a diversity, that is, to have Indian Revenue Service, Indian Administrative Service, foreign services, and all kind of diversity in the session, so that the students could be guided about the options that they could take when they clear the civil services examination. So you could see the speakers in the slide, and a lot of the students attended the session. Probably 350 students benefited from the session.
This was one of the picks.
You could see this outreach auditorium completely full.
Approximately 700 students finally came at some moment, and we were not able to accommodate. This was the same route in which we conducted, and we were not able to accommodate all of them. That was the shortfall we had in this session. Another session we conducted was on entrepreneurship. The following speakers we invited.
So this session was planned in 2 phases. First was to call for ideas from students. Then we provided these students 6 mentors, which were also our alumni, having startups. So after this 15 days mentoring phase by the alumni, the students were ready with a B plan, and the following judges came to judge for the event and gave a talk to promote entrepreneurship among the students.
Before that, around 10 to 15 mentors were involved in mentoring the startup ideas of the students. Next thing we do is workshops. Workshops are organized for improving the communication skills and personality development. We organize workshops for ACP students as well as for non-ACP students. So,
recently we organized a workshop by Ms. Asa Kaul. This was a communication skill workshop specifically for ACP students. She gave an insight about telephonic conversation, real-life conversation, and what are the basic body languages that the students could maintain while conversing with speakers.
Then another initiative we took was alumni mock interviews. We contacted different alumni. We actually had a mass mailing to different alumni to some specific batches, and we got around 50 to 60 alumni
who took mock interviews, HR interviews to help in the placement preparations of 120 students. So this was one of the picks we took of the students.
We asked the students to write responses for the session, how they felt the session was. We got this response from the student placement office coordinator that this was a very good initiative that helped the students for preparation.
Then there was a workshop by Mr. Prabal Roy. Basically, there were some raw ideas by students, approximately 20 to 25. And he took up further on a 3-day basis. On first day, basic raw ideas were discussed, pros and cons. And subsequently, they were built up. So, number of students were less, but the ideas were concrete at the end. Approximately 20 students were there at that third day.
So finally, 5 ideas were selected out of these 20 ideas, which Mr. Prabal Roy agreed to mentor and further develop those ideas.
In this, there are some sessions in which some alumni are ready to help the institute, and we plan it almost impromptu time. Recently, we had a session of higher studies in which people who want to pursue GRE research. We got 2 speakers, Mr. Samanyaya Srivastava and Mr. Pandika Agarwal, and they dealt with questions about statement of purposes, GRE scores, and all that kind of questions. 150 students attended this session.
Another pick from the same session. Actually, these sessions are attended by less number of students because these sessions are planned within like 5 days or 6 days. We get information that few of our alumni are visiting the campus, and if alumni provides us the information, we organize the session.
This was one of the sessions in which 98 batch was having a small reunion. Some people were coming, and we organized this session. There were different, Mr. Amit Karkare, who was a professor of IIT Kanpur only, he also was one of the speakers. So we organized this session, we got the information 2 days before. This is another entrepreneurship come personality development workshop in which 150 students attended this workshop. Ayush Bhai is an entrepreneur who is pursuing his entrepreneurship ideas in Dharmshala.
We also have informal discussions with alumni who are coming over to the campus, one-on-one interaction with the students. So,
one is alumni internship and placement resolution. We sought help from 32,000 alumni. The placement situation and internship situation in IIT Kanpur is not that good compared to other metropolitan cities IITs. If I talk of IIT Delhi and IIT Bombay. So we want to improve that situation and we want to take help of alumni. We have a great base of 33,000 plus alumni, so we sought help from them.
So this year we started this initiative. Our dean, Professor Prabhat Munshi, made all of you, probably many of you might have got the mail about the alumni placement resolution. We asked alumni to come to IIT Kanpur to give jobs to students.
We coordinated with student placement office and tried to organize this. This was the first year, and this year approximately we got total 850 plus placement offers.
And currently we are pursuing alumni internship resolution, and if some of you are interested to provide internships to students at IIT Kanpur, you can drop your cards. Our volunteers would be there to collect your cards, and also you could drop a mail to sp@itk.ac.in if you are not carrying your cards, if you are interested in it.
Then chapter meets these reunions in which chapter meets also, like this reunion and other chapter meets in Jaipur, Bombay, we help in organizing those. Then there are video interviews, different alumni come. We have made a video interview series of different alumni who give career guidance through videos, and we have a YouTube channel so that the students who are not attending that session can see the video on YouTube channel.
Actually, this idea came from the students only. Though we started last year, but these sessions were becoming so popular among the students that people who were missing the sessions asked us to video record those sessions. So we started this just in the last session. From the last session, we video recorded the interview of Mr. Divyanshu Jha and put it on YouTube so that the students could watch it when they are not present in the campus. these are the planned sessions that will be coming by. One is the communication skill workshop for personality development workshop that will be held specifically for alumni contact program students in January. The another session that is planned is Ideas Incubate, and we are recently planning to open it up for our alumni who are into startups, less than 1 year old startups. So we are planning to give a platform to those people and call established venture capitalists like Excel Partners. We have our alumni and Excel Partners, CEO Ventures, and we plan to provide a common platform for those.
And we are also planning a session on IES services. This is the expenses we are spending on each trip from the top. Approximately 75,000, and 250 students get benefited from each session.
So the session that we plan, we call around 5 alumni. We have to pay for the to and fro travel and taxi bookings and accommodation. Everything we take care of. So we just only talk about this much.
And almost all the expenses are borne by Dora. So we organize 4 to 5 sessions. So it is quite a burden if we see overall.
What are the advantages that we would have if you fund Project Saraswati? Currently we are budget restrained. I mean, our alumni contact program budget is since the last year has been restrained. I mean, we can plan just only 4 sessions in a year. We want to increase it to different sessions. We want to increase the number of speakers. We want to increase the number of workshops so that more students could benefit from the workshop. Currently, we could have a limited number of students in the workshop, limited number of students as the audience. I mean, we couldn't provide all of the students with the facility to come and interact one-on-one with the alumni.
It's not just monetary contribution we are asking from alumni. We are asking an in-kind donation, maybe internships, maybe give a talk. That's kind of donations we are asking from the alumni.
Also, we can help, take help from 90 batch, like many of you would be in different domains, and you could also come and inform students, guide students, take the sessions, take the talks.
So basically a corpus would be created and interest is around 8 to 9% of that corpus, and 5% would be utilized for that activity and rest is flowed back into the corpus. And accountability, you will get an annual report from DORA, expenditure report, and it would help the overall institute programs. That's the purpose. And we would like to invite Dean Resources and Alumni, Professor Prabhat Munshi.
I think it's getting late. It's getting late, but I would like to just add that Himel was here for such Project Saraswati sessions. And why it is Project Saraswati? Well, tomorrow you will see the Project Lakshmi version of my presentation. So the Dean's interaction, and I have a PPT of 10 slides, which is concentrating on Project Lakshmi, where you will see we have a request of like $10 million. I mean, we have 3 projects in detail which the institute is going, that I will talk tomorrow. But today, please donate time to your alma mater, our alma mater. That is my request. And one small thing is that we also have something called English Proficiency Program for students who are coming from underprivileged classes, and it was started recently. And I will try to see if the 2 kids are here from that English program. We already have a donor, an unnamed donor who has donated money, and the program is started because he doesn't want to be named. And we just want to increase the corpus by maybe 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. The cost of that program is around 2 to 3 lakhs a year, not much. And it is aimed at those kids coming in the first year. Right now you write JEE in the native language, and the classes are held in English. So we see a serious problem for the last 10 years. And that part has been missed. I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Can you come for a minute? Just
around 6 months back. It was a very nice session. It was basically a lot of interest by students in the area of finance, which was scary because we were in a technology school. But still it was very interactive, and I think the key thing is those interactions should be continued with the alumni. So we have a lot of alumni in finance, in management in Bombay. So we would like, I don't know, after that the interactions somehow broke after that, so maybe we should continue that. And that that is the way to go ahead.
So, any questions?
Sir, one question, you talked about internship.
So we just coordinate with the student placement office. Student placement office is not able to handle the 33,000 batch alumni, and it handles in a very professional manner. So we act as an intermediary body.
My question was a little different. So, so if you talk about your BTech programs and your MTech programs, so
Go through and take you through the journey of various myriad activities which Vivekananda Samiti has taken up over several years. Drawing its inspiration from Swami Vivekananda, Vivekananda Samiti has been functioning from over 40 years, one of the oldest students in Kanpur, and it is trying to disseminate the message of Swami Vivekananda to its activities. So, as Swami Vivekananda himself says, to have higher ideas, the highest possible ideas. So we have the idea of nation building through man-made, because each individual constitutes the nation, and if the quality of individuals increases, as a group, as nation as a whole, as a collective conscious, as a collective individuals, nation can perform better. So this is our vision, and our mission is our activities itself, the activities which we undertake. So as Dr. Seligman, one of the celebrated stalwarts of positive psychology, says that happiness constitutes of three aspects. One is pleasure, another one is engagement, and another one is meaning. So through our different engagements in the Samiti, we try to find the meaning in life so that we can find happiness. In the same lines, we have these are the few activities which we conduct in Samiti. So one is invited talks, in which we think about the requirements of the students, which are unanswered, which may not be related to academics, but they are related to life in general. So recently we conducted a workshop on mind management. As we all know that the major challenges of life, all the challenges of life are faced by the mind, but preparation goes towards the preparation of body. So we thought we could have a session on how to think, and we had a workshop on that. And previously we have had workshops on communication skills, on certain sessions on social entrepreneurship, and various other similar other activities. So in weekly discussions, we identify students who are interested in, who are oriented towards the service activities, or who are interested in giving back to the society, and we team up with them and discuss on relevant topics. And we also, as seniors, give them emotional support so that they can cope up with the peer pressure, and they can also live up to their ideals throughout their life. So, and in community health service activities, we believe that this is the major activities. This is one of the major activities, because all other activities are theory. We feel, some of us feel, but this is the activity which is the practical output. All other activities which we do are preparing the members of the IIT, friends of the IIT campus, to perform in giving back activities. So in community health service activities, we have cloth collection and distribution drives. I still remember one of my friends sharing the joy which he experienced when going back and donating clothes to homeless people in the streets of Kanpur. So he could reciprocate the joy which they faced during that time. So and we also do health camps in villages to underprivileged students in different schools in the vicinity of IIT campus itself. And also we conduct eye camps to people in the nearby villages like Namkari, Barasaruri, etc. So, and also we conduct competitions to school students and college students, and the competitions should be designed the competition such that it should bring out people from the competition and concentrate on the development of individuals rather. So we design events such as, and we also conduct Sanskrit classes and also Vedanta classes also. So, and as an annual festival, we celebrate the Youth Day, National Youth Day, as Youth Leadership Convention, wherein we invite various achievers in various walks of life to interact with the students of IIT Kanpur. So, this is the poster of last year's convention, in which we had invited Paramveer Chakra, Bana Singh, Jalpurush Rajendra Singh, Anshu Gupta, the founder of the Gunj NGO, and also Shobit Mathur, who was the National Organizing Secretary of Youth for Seva, is an IIT Bombay alumnus, and Arunima Sinha, one of the female amputee, the first female amputee to climb the Mount Everest. So, and we also invited Bhakti Sharma, this swimmer, and also Pramod Kumar. And these are few names. These are just few. I am naming few great leaders whom we had invited. But in the past, we have also invited Kiran Bedi and Paramveer Chakra, Yogendra Yadav, and many people. So, and we intend to invite students. We intend to invite leaders even in the future, so that the students can interact with them, get inspired, and also inspire others. And as I told you, that we design various various competitions to so that it can ignite the inquisitive thinking of inside the participants. And this is one of the unique events which actually Vivekananda Samiti always thinks to start some unique events, so that it can later it can become independent event. We strive so that it becomes an independent event, independent body. For example, Vivekananda Samiti had started Prayas in around 2000. Today it's a completely independent body. So even in the same way, we have started one event to promote the diversity, to promote the unity and diversity of the country among the and also to spread the awareness of our own nation among the various students who come from different parts of the states and who reside in IIT Kanpur. So in the same way, last year we thought of a program in which we could provide a platform to different students, so that they can perform something which is related to their native. So, and they can inform it to their friends. So this event was a success, and it is going to become an independent event in the future. So we do so many of these events, but the efforts would be the same. The efforts which we put from year to year is the same, but the magnitude it varies according to the funding which we get in various years. But we see to it that we put all the efforts, we maximize our efforts year to year, and also the magnitude also we try to, with whatever resources which we have, we try to.
So any questions? Any specific requirement? I guess you define the activities. Rajiv wants to know what is your specific request to the 90 guys. Anything that you need in specific, any funding, anything.
Actually now the Youth Leadership Convention of this year, we are falling short of the funding. So, and also in future events, we are also planning to increase the magnitude of the community's health service activities. So we want to reach out to more villages and more students. So even this.
How much? What is your budget? I know you got very little money this time. What would you like to have?
Actually, this year we proposed a budget of over 3.5 lakhs, but now we have not yet got the signal as to how much we are getting right now. And the community service activities, health camps, usually we do it. Health camps, each health camp would cost around 15 to 20,000, and also in the BYLC is one of the major events, and that is the one which always suffers due to lack of funding.
So I guess Rajiv will have to get back with specific quantification as to what is the requirement. Please feel free to get in touch with Ravi Bhagwat, Raghu, because these two people will be coordinating all the efforts on behalf of the batch. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll definitely touch base. And the institute about suggestions of how we can give back. Here are some of the suggestions from our side as a batch as to how we think we can contribute. And amongst these, all the set of 10 ideas, we'll have to apply ourselves and see that tomorrow when we meet with the dean, the event is around, and it should be there in our program, around 11 o'clock or so. Two requests. One is to think over the suggestions and the ideas. And second is, if you have your business cards, please bring it along so that the team out here, we can drop the business cards and they can reach out to us.
Okay, so I'm going to simply recap what the output of our survey was, our team survey. And then after that, open it up to you guys. So I sent out two surveys. Survey number 1 was open-ended, free text. Hey, what do you think we should do? Past batches have built walls, built parks. Is that meaningful? What should we do? And there were various very good ideas. In addition, I reached out to Dr. Munshi. He sent a few ideas, and there was in fact a substantial thematic overlap. So the ideas fell in 6 categories. I sent out a 4-page Word document which had all the granular ideas, but they fell in 6 sections. So these are the section titles of that document. If you want to know exactly what was inside, you should go and look at that document that I sent you. The first was, why should we speak for IITK? We've been away for 25 years. Why don't you let IITK administrators decide what their priorities are? The second was a category around boosting the academic stature. This would be funding an IITK and IIT faculty chair, building a lab for environmental sciences, etc., etc. The third was to enable a 360-degree education. That was under that category, felt things like sports, promoting entrepreneurship, things that would be normally missed out in a purely academically focused initiative. The fourth was around improving the campus. Hey, you know, we have the Kelkar library, the fountains suck. They don't even suck. They don't work. So you have a bunch of things like that. What should we do around the campus to improve the bathrooms, improve the fountains, and so on? The fifth was forget the campus. You know, IITK's liability is not IITK, it's Kanpur. And so why not focus on Kanpur and so on. But in this category was also some socially minded initiatives for the villages surrounding us. And then the last one was, if you really want to improve the IITK brand, why not take some initiatives that IITK alumni are doing, which doesn't have to do with IIT, doesn't have to do with Kanpur, but does have to do with the IITK brand. So, you know, Praveen wants to make some betterments in his neighborhood in the Sahyadri Mountains. We have the Toys for Trash program that's coming up. And these are, so we have lots of, you know, wonderful IITians doing all kinds of interesting things. Why not support them in their efforts? So these were the ideas. They fell in 6 categories. So the first survey was simply to gather all the ideas. Then the second survey was, okay, we prioritize them, please. And so I asked everybody to rank them from 1 to 6. In fact, what I prioritized were not the itsy-bitsy suggestions, but the section headers. And as it turned out, these two led by far. Number 3 and 4 were to improve the campus and to support ex-IITians making a difference in their own communities. Number 5 and 6 were to improve the surroundings and to let the IIT administration decide. So those were, but the number 1 and 2 were ahead by a substantial margin. Okay, so my suggestion is that even if you double click on these 2 categories, there are in fact a number of sub-suggestions under them, and there are a number of good meaty suggestions, and in fact many of the presentations that were made today could be considered to have folded under one of these 2 categories. So let's focus on these 2 categories. I'm just going to say that that's our collective will. And so unfortunately things like, well, you know, let's get the fountain working will not fall in these categories. This is for those of you who haven't read the Word document, I just want to flash this in front of you. And I'll give you 30 seconds before I flip to the next page. Take a look. surge is mentioned here, which Professor Kamble presented, as well as many of the ideas that were embedded inside the Saraswati project. But there were other ideas too. Under the second category, which is the 360-degree education, these were the ideas that we suggested. Again, take 30 seconds, please look at it. I'm going to open it up to you guys now to express either your preferences or your anti-preferences, either one. There's only one constraint. There's a famous experiment that was done about 30 years ago, I think. And the point of this experiment is that until somebody owns an initiative, nothing moves forward. Things won't get done. So actually, there's a guy who is an actor who stands in the middle of the sidewalk and suddenly pretends to have a heart attack and falls down and says, doctor, doctor, need a doctor, heart attack, and so on. And people keep walking by because there are too many people walking by and everybody assumes that somebody else is going to do it. As soon as the person falls down and says, hey, you, get me a doctor, then the 90% certainty, somebody would call the emergency and get a doctor. They've repeated this experiment in multiple, you're walking past a door, smoke is coming out. If there are more than 3 people walking past the door, nobody will call the fire department because everybody assumes somebody else is going to do it, right? So we have a situation here where my constraint on this thing that I'm proposing is when you have a project where you have a passionate champion for this project, such as the ones you heard today, or other ones, there's a chance the project gets done. Otherwise, we can have all kinds of wonderful ideas, everybody thinks it's a good idea, jack all gets done. So, we need to make sure, in my opinion, that we need to give preferences to projects where you have somebody who's standing up and saying, hey, I'll do this. That counts for more than the money that we get, right? So with that constraint, let me open it up. And I know there's an eye chart, this is just a repeat of what we had so that you have it for reference as we're having discussion. You guys,
before we move forward, Bhagavat, can I request you to be here just to facilitate the discussion?
Is there a quarters mic out there in the head? No, let me give mine.
The point here.
Yeah.
I visited this campus about 6 months ago as part of the shooting and visited the hostel rooms. I found the bogs, the toilets, really in bad shape. So for the kind of people we intake here and the kind of people IIT produces, somehow something like that was not listed in your thing, so I could not mark that out.
It was listed under the campus infrastructure improvements. Okay. And it was in the list that was there in the document that I sent out. People did, it was there, but it didn't make the cut for the highest, most popular thing.
So something as simple like picking up one hostel, like say all one, and take care of the maintenance of all the bogs for 5 years or something like that. Or if you pick up a corpus of 1 crore, we can manage the maintenance of one hostel bathrooms for lifetime. So something like that, which is a very, very low level basic thing, which has immediate effect. That is one suggestion that I have.
Okay, thank you.
I would second Reddy's comments, Sanjay, and I was disappointed with the city, to say the least. Even with the campus, it has not been that uplifting. And then, had I seen the campus before, my vote could have been different. So I was wondering if you wanna give people a chance to rethink their vote.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is it's our forum. I've heard a lot of talk about Kanpur being a handicap for IIT as a brand and so on. I don't quite understand why and how much we as a batch should care and try to fix that. Or do we treat it as a hard
observation? As ACM India president, I have been launching state of the research in computer science in India, and we've been doing it for the last 2 years. We're doing it every year. And this is basically based on the CRA PhD survey in computer science, which is carried out in US. On that lines, we've been carrying out from ACM India this survey for computer science PhD output in the country. And one satisfying thing was produced. I don't want to count the numbers granting PhD institutions where their universities are known to be given 100 PhDs just for that, but quality PhDs with some standing.
Now, I'm happy to see that at least there are 150, at least across the country when we count the IICs, the top IITs and IITs, etc. But I have some observations to make out of this study and also my interactions in the research community with computer science faculty across India. I can name institutions which have overtaken us. I was very proud when I used to say that, at least in our batch, we closed at 28 and our Kanpur computer science was known across the world. But today, I'm very sad that last year, there were only 2 people in the first 100 who opted IIT Kanpur. Think about it. I'm not even talking about IIT Kanpur computer science, across Kanpur departments, only 2 people in top 100. This year, I don't know if it was even 1 or 0. And at the same time, I did my MTech at IIT Bombay. At that time, I worked under a prof where 2 new institutions are taking steps. And if we don't take that step, we will always remain this undergraduate dominated, feeding to either the banks or the civil servants or wherever. It's good. I don't mind the personal choices of the thing, but academic brand we're talking about, that will only happen with high quality research output. Today, sadly, in the top 100 ranking of academic institutions, only one figures at number 56 or something, which is IIC, and it's very sad. Next probably is IIT Bombay. Kanpur is nowhere in the rank of top 400. So I think there's several things we can do, but it has got to do with, at a fundamental level, entice people to research as a career. Research has sacrificed them. And it's also about their merits in terms of other collateral benefits you get, in terms of branding, in terms of your patents. So I think the first one should be the priority, but in order to do that, we cannot take a knee-jerk reaction just by giving money for a chair.
Regards itself, it's sort of like the difference between sort of a liberal art.
The PWD of IITK was 25 lakhs. And they had collected something like 1 crore and they did give 25 lakhs. And I have got a mail after several discussions, and this project has started. It's an infrastructure project, but it's not a big amount. But the class of 1989 will have its name there, and this thing will be under L7. The whole area has been will be cordoned off. It will be made air conditioned, where you can pick up your coffee from Cafe Coffee Day and sit there. It will be Wi-Fi. And the tables won't be worn out. There will be no Sanmaika. It will be all glass. So this is directly under the Dean of Infrastructure, which is a new post that has been created, because Deputy Director could not handle so many projects. So we have this Noida Center coming up, which, see, I'm holding back. I don't want to reveal everything which I want to tell tomorrow.
So, the wireless network got a class gift. If you connect your device to that wireless network, you will automatically be taken to that survey form. And you fill it out, say submit in your lap. So if you don't have to open your laptop or anything, you can just sit anywhere, wherever the wireless network is. So we'll see if we can pull it off anymore, just to simplify it.
Praveen, one question.
The guest house will have 120 more rooms. The lawn will be gone and there will be a 6-story tower. So then everybody can sleep in the guest house.
Okay, thank you. I think next is dinner at 8 p.m. in BH lawn.